like to get you, and that is you.
Well,
and
I don't think you'll get me sitting still.
and so I'm recording, by the way. I just hit record.
Okay.
I was like, let's just go for it. Let's just try and get what we can do, see what we can do. And thank you for joining me on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, by the way, Sarah. I've come to the Ferndell B&B today.
Well done. It's Ferndell, not because a lot of people think it's Ferndale. So that's good.
Ferndell. And it was a rookie error for me. I thought this was Castlefields. I don't know why. I mean, me and you've been speaking together for a while. I mean, when I first started doing this show. And I don't know why. I thought it was Castlefields. I got into my car, put my sat nav in, because sometimes I still do that in Shrewsbury. I'm kind of like, if it's an obscure street somewhere, I'll be like, oh. And it was like 4 minutes. And I was like, oh, that's handy. And it is handy. This place is beautiful. It's in a great location.
Yeah, it's ideal, isn't it? Close to the train station, close to the Abbey.
Yeah.
And you say Castlefields, that's because we're just by the Castle Walk Park and the river, which takes you over to Castlefields.
Ah, okay. So that's quite handy too.
Yeah, so where the prison, and you can see the castle. So that's why you probably thought Castlefields. I don't know.
It's just the way my mind works. Okay, so I wanted to get you on the show for a while because you were really supportive of the show from the get-go. You kind of like it.
Well, you put a little advert in for me, didn't you, on your very first one?
My
treasure hunt, wasn't it?
Treasure hunt. And I was playing around with doing adverts and things like that, and I still, we are planning to do that, but like this microphone stands annoying. So I thought I'd do a few little things. I mean, my friend was selling kindling. He was just randomly had somebody selling kindling. So I played fire crackling in the background and do all these things. So like, you guys giving me content to play with was just perfect for me. And also as well, when I brought Shane onto the show, he's like, oh, you should get on the show. It's the Ferndell B&B. I've heard so many great things. He genuinely said, I was like, oh, yeah, we're going to get on the show. So,
it's social media, isn't it? That's what it is with Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
It's the social media
we were just
side
talking
of things.
about that, weren't we? How well Shrewsbury is actually connected. It's just crazy. I mean, I suppose, I work in Telford, so I've got a lot going on with Telford, and I lived there for a bit, so I can see like there's Facebook groups of this, that and the other, but with Shrewsbury, there's just a genuine sort of real love for the town. There's
a lovely vibe in Shrewsbury, and the guests come and they love it and they come back, and so many independents, and just the atmosphere down by the river, and it's a lovely, lovely town. Yeah,
and you're situated perfectly for it, like we just said. And I got here, and this house is enormous. It's beautiful, big Victorian building.
We love it.
And you just took me for a walk around, and you've got like 2 sets of staircases, and there's rooms dotted everywhere. It's
great
beautiful.
For hide and seek when you're a kid.
I bet. And it was also great to see, which is why we were just talking about like noises and sounds and things like that, like how you guys have just like this is you. This is like where you guys are. Your family's here.
It is. We've been here 12 years, and we just love it. My little boy was I was pregnant when we moved in,
wow.
So he's known nothing else. And his mates come round. And yesterday we had Lego. 12-year-olds playing Lego, good fun. They were playing Lego and chasing each other around the house, and up down one stairs, up another. Just loving it. But I can't have it like that when I got guests in, obviously.
No, yeah. And how quickly did it take for them to adapt to that? Was, I guess, with your lad, it kind of just...
Well, Charlie knows no different, Bethan was 10, May was 5 when we came here, so they like it. My May will take herself off quietly, she prefers her own. Yeah. I'm waffling now.
No, it's a podcast. That's what this is for. What I was going to say was, like, it's all well and good. I mean, it's great to have business, isn't it? But I bet you have your quiet periods and your busy periods.
Yeah, and I like that as well. It's lovely to have the house to ourselves, and we couldn't live in a house this big and so beautiful without me running the B&B. I'd have to go out and go and get a proper job, So no, I appreciate the quiet times, which is like after Christmas, January, February, March. It gets really, really quiet.
I imagine.
And so I sort of diverted a little bit, and I've started doing some little creative art taster mornings, just to do something when there's no guests in.
I did see on your Facebook that your Facebook's fantastic, by the way. I messaged you a while ago. I just randomly messaged you.
I love Facebook. I love it all. I love Twitter, Instagram, but I just think social media, when you're a small business, And I think if you can just hit that share button, or you can make a comment, it means a lot to a small business, because you just don't know who else.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I'm always telling my listeners, please share our show. Tell people about us.
Because even though, you might not be interested in that person's product, some people who just might,
Yeah.
And for me, I think, well, okay, I know people in Shrewsbury have got no reason to come and stay at my B&B. They live in Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
But, somebody might ask them in the street, or a relative or friend might need somewhere to stay. And even if I can't do it, I've got a lovely relationship with all the B&Bs in town.
I was eavesdropping on one of your phone calls now. You rang up and you weren't available, and you were like,
so
check out
recommend
such
Sonia. Yeah. We do this. We all try and keep the business between us. We've got a lovely little network. And I think you spoke earlier about My Shrewsbury magazine.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful magazine in the town.
Quick shout out to Katie Ring.
Well, we had a little, we had a paid article. We paid to go in the article. But it was a write-up about us B&B landladies, how we all, just try and share the business between us. And Sonia, if Sonia's full now, she'll recommend somebody else, and it'll just go round in a circle. So it's all.
And that's really good. And that's kind of what I hear a lot around Shrewsbury. Another reason why this place is so great, because businesses just do help each other.
They do. I was thinking about something I did a few years ago, before Facebook was so big. I didn't know how many people knew about my B&B. So I thought I need to ask people. I need to stop people in the street and ask them, if you had to recommend a B&B in Shrewsbury, who would you recommend? And at the time, there was a few down by the Abbey and others in the town. I thought, I don't think anybody knows about me. So I thought, if I stop people in the street, they're not going to want to speak to me. But if I've got something to offer them. So I went round some of the cafes. So I know you've interviewed Mike from Stop.
Yeah.
So it was years ago now. I went to Stop Cafe, and I went to the Bird's Nest. There was a guy called Victor who worked there, who set it up with Aaron. There was a cafe that's not there now, opposite the library. The various cafes I went round asking for free coffee. I said, would you give me free coffee? And I told them what I wanted it for. Stop people in the street, ask them if they know about B&Bs, but I wanted to give them something as a thank you. I just wanted to give them a free coffee in the town.
Yeah.
So I got 100 free coffees from the local coffee shops in town. And I stopped 100 people over a couple of days. And, if you had to, what B&B would you recommend? And that they didn't know me. They didn't know Ferndell B&B at all. Just one person knew me. But I gave out 100 free coffees to people. And you think, it was like get a coffee, buy one free or something. So that was really supportive. The coffee shop supported me in that way.
Mike is great. I mean, there are so and the guys from Planet Donut as well. I see him everywhere. But everybody's just so accommodating. I when I first started doing the biscuit, before I'd even started, I spent 3 whole days. I had 3 days off, and I spent 3 whole days, 4 hours. I think one day was 6 hours, just walking around town giving out business cards. I'm doing the Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Yay.
And, it was kind of hard because in the first 5 seconds of meeting someone, giving them a business card, you have to be like, I'm not selling anything.
Yeah.
I just want to make the show, And people are so supportive.
They are. And the thing is, when it's your business, if you don't do it, who else is going to do it for you?
Exactly.
You've got, it can be a bit embarrassing stopping people in the street to start with, but then you get in your zone, don't you?
I hate it. I've had so many bad experiences going into town. I remember the first time I ever did that. I stood for about an hour on Pride Hill, and I got so angry and so upset because people were just walking past me.
But Pride Hill, people are busy, aren't they, on Pride Hill? They're heading to the bank.
Yeah.
They're going to Barclays. They're on their way down.
Yeah.
They're busy on Pride Hill. It probably isn't the best place to stop people.
I tried at Darwin Gate as well. It's one of the places I love to stand and do that, but because it's right in the centre of town, and that Darwin Gate.
By NatWest.
Still, I'm just all for that. I already know that when I go up to someone and I'm like, hi, can I stop you for a second? I'm just ruining their day just a little bit more before I've even said it. So it ruins it. And but that's why I've come around your house today and I brought all this equipment. There's like wires all around your kitchen table. Usually I do a really tidy setup, but I was just like, let's just do this.
Well, there's the room, isn't there? But I'm just not used to sitting still. my cake. I'm going to get my cake at the oven. We're all good.
I think I may have distracted you so much we ruined a cake.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I set the timer. I thought we just need a few more minutes. Yeah. Chocolate brownies today for the guests.
Yeah. So you say you've been doing this 12 years.
Yeah.
How did it all begin for you, the Ferndell B&B?
Well, I always wanted to run a B&B since I was in my teens. My husband and I, we did a little tour when he had like a little Beetle, and we went round from Shrewsbury down to Land's End, across to Brighton, because his brother was living there, back up to Shrewsbury, had been to Stonehenge. And in that little week, we stayed in B&Bs. And I really like it, you know. We stayed in one in Bath, and everybody sat around the same table, like we've got here, a big table for everyone to sit together. And so we were like the young backpacker kids, and there was like the American businessman with his newspaper, and there was couples, and all sat around the breakfast table. I thought, this is lovely. And then we'd stay at a B&B, like if you dropped your fork, like, oh, you know, careful, table for two. And I just thought, I'd like to do this with a big table, and really nice. But of course, you need a big house. You need a house with curb appeal. And obviously, we're only young. We couldn't do that. But I don't know, as we got a bit older, and I don't know, just had the children, and just thought, if we don't do it now, we'll never do it. Yeah. So this came on the market, and we just looked around.
Was it already a B&B, or was it just a big house?
No, just a big house.
Enormous house.
Yeah, I remember we got out the car, because we're at the bottom of Tankerville Street, just on the corner of Underdale Road, and we got out the car, and I thought, I don't care what it looks like inside, I just want it. And it was crawling with people. There was lots and lots of people looking at it, but next door, they were selling the garden. They were selling the garden off, which has now got a big house built on it. So I think that might have put a few people off. I'm not knowing what was going to be next door, but yeah, we got it, and it's just
and the rest
lovely.
Is history.
Yeah.
What was it like the first week of doing this? Was it really kind of like, oh my god, and go? I mean, what was that like for you?
Well, I was pregnant when we got the keys. We got the keys in the February, and we needed to get a room ready really, really quickly. But I just knew I could do it. I just knew it would be lovely, because the house felt so nice and the rooms were so lovely, and we had our first few guests. I remember they came, and we'd sit at the table. I'd made them tea and cake when they arrived, and I remember we sat talking for so long at the table, and you think these people probably were just thinking, I just want to get into the town. I wish, that's the doorbell.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, thanks, Beth. Yeah, I remember sitting so long, whereas now I sort of know, just give them the cake and leave the people alone, Sarah. They just want to get into the town, you know. I'll just see who's at the door. Hang on a second.
Okay, that's cool. And this is what I like.
I told you it was like a circus.
No, but that's what I like. I like getting the whole idea of this podcast is to document things. And right now I'm sitting watching as this place just. You know.
It is. There's always something going on. That was my daughter's friend. So yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. And here comes my little lad wrapped in his blanket.
What's it been like? What's it like for the summer holidays? I bet that can be.
Well, it's great because I'm at home. You know, when I was working, I used to work at Sevenside Housing, and my boss was fantastic. You know, he'd let me do the breakfast in the morning, then go in a little bit later, and then it realised that no, I want to be here all the time. Thank you. Okay. That was my husband. That was Stu.
Summer holidays, yeah. So
no, it's great because I'm here, so I haven't got to rush out in the morning. You know, I'm here for the kids. If they've got anything, I don't know. It's just nice to be at home with the children.
Do they get stuck in? You're like, you make the breakfast, and you go make the.
No. It's only me. It's only
just you.
Me.
Yeah?
It's only me. The kids are good. If I need a cake making, if I'm doing the rooms, I need a cake. They'll all chip in and make a cake for me. But no, the B&B is me. My husband works in the cellar, and the B&B is me.
Oh, fantastic! I mean, I don't have experience of this, but like my wife's auntie, they have like, you know, when kids come over to the school from abroad.
Oh yeah,
and they need somewhere to stay. They've got like a little annex there, and they come and stay. And I always just found it like kind of weird that you go to the house and there'd be just somebody different there every.
Well, some of my friends, you were like, oh, you know, you're going to have strangers in your house, you know. What if, you know, you got not to leave your wallet on the side or your phone on? It's like, don't be so silly. It's trust both ways, you know, in their rooms and things. But no, I like it. I love the comings and goings and meeting the different people, and it's just so lovely.
Have you had any like celebrities or people of interests come here?
I'm waiting. I'm sure someone famous will come one day.
Well, you're the world famous Shrewsbury Biscuit.
But we have had, John Craven has been here.
Really?
But it was
Who's John Craven?
You are joking.
Yeah.
Do you not know who John Craven is?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to keep this in your show.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You don't know who John Craven is? John Craven, when I mind you, I'm older than you.
I'm giving him a Google now. John.
Yeah, John Craven was our he was our presenter on Newsround, our news when we were kids growing up. So he's now on Country File. He's one of the big presenters on Country File. Please keep it in your show that you didn't know who John Craven is.
I'm going to. And I actually,
because people who are older will be like laughing.
Looking at his picture there, I noticed you got like a picture of him as you're walking through the door.
Yeah, he's on the windowsill. So lots of people come in and will say, "Why have you got John Craven on the window?" And it was because they were doing a. Oh, sorry. I told you
that's fine. That's fine.
Hang on a sec. Hello, Ferndell.
So when people ask you why you got John Craven on your door.
So they were looking on the Country File programme for a family who knew something about recycling, but nothing about the carbon footprint. So one of the neighbours said, "Oh, Sarah and her family, get them on." So they came and just checked out the kitchen first to check we got room for all the sound crew and whatever. And so John Craven came, and me and my little lad, we went right up and down the aisles of Tesco's. I'm a Aldi girl, I shop at Aldi, but Aldi wouldn't let the film crew in. So we went to Tesco's, walking up and down, choosing fruit, and then we were all in my kitchen, and the kids, and they liked the fact the kids wanted to get involved. So they got fruit and veg that we'd bought at Tesco's, got it out of the fridge, and we had a big map, and you had to look where the fruit and veg had come from. And
wow.
So it was really interesting. So not knowing anything about our carbon footprint. So things like tomatoes. Do you want to hear this?
Yeah, this is perfect. I like it.
So things like tomatoes that had like been grown in Britain, that's not such a good carbon footprint because they've been in a hothouse.
Oh, right, okay.
And then there's like things like asparagus that have been I can't remember now. I can't remember it all now.
So, like,
but it was about the carbon footprint of you, and it was just like how the food has travelled. So some food has like travelled on an airplane, some's been on a boat, so that doesn't use up so much.
So did they come around your house and they're like, "Wow, you've got this here," and they're typing on a calculator and this here, and you're actually killing the planet by such and such % every day.
It was a really nice day, and John Craven stood in front of the telly there, and he had his arms folded, and he said to Stu, he said, "Can we put the telly on?" Because one of his, he was on a programme on something else, And of course, every time you did something, they'd say, "Oh, can you stop? Can you do that again? Can you say that again? Can you move your hand there? Can you do that?" And it was fun. He was lovely. He was a lovely man. He was really nice. But he didn't stay, and it was nothing to do with the B&B, and I'd love to have had big T-shirts on saying, "Ferndell B&B Shrewsbury."
I'm like that. Whenever I do something, like when I work at the prison, I'll be acting, and I just want to whisper in their ear, "Listen to the Shrewsbury Biscuit."
Anything you can do to promote your business. That's what it's about, isn't it?
It gets to a point where it gets quite shameless, and I've learned how to be quite subtle with it now because, like, there are certain places you can go to share stuff, but as soon as you listen to my podcast, listen to this, dropping like links and like comments. And things
honestly, I'm terrible. My friend Fiona, she was really quite poorly, and so my answer to anything is just make someone a cake. I can't think of anything else but making a cake. So I took her around a cake because I knew that she's going to be poorly and she's going to have lots of visitors.
Yeah.
There's lots of visitors are going to need cake, and if there's a business card in front of that cake, they know where the cake's come from.
Brilliant. I need to ask you. I need to get some advice from you. But yeah, this is really cool. I love that. I love everything about what you guys are doing. You've been doing this for 12 years now?
Yeah, 12 years. Yeah, so I've got lots of people who come back, the same people. Like, we've got the flower show coming up, haven't we, this weekend?
Oh, God, thinking about that.
And Isabel and Naomi can't come this year, and they've been coming for, like, the last 11 years or whatever, and Isabel's, like, in her late 70s and sits on my pink bench out the front there smoking her fag, and, And
I was going to ask that. Do you have, like, your favourites that come every year,
You can't call anybody favourite, can you? It's not fair.
Yeah, you can.
But we know the folk festival's at the end of the month, so we've got Sue and Ken coming from...
I'm going to see them tomorrow. I'm going to see the folk festival.
The folk festival, yeah. So we've got Sue and Ken have been coming for years. They always go in my twin room, and then Jed and Sue are coming from up north. They'll be in the double room, and it's nice. I do. I've started doing some WI. Well, I'm going to start doing some WI speaking next year.
What's that? WI speaking?
Yeah, the Women's Institute.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
Wow,
so
fantastic.
they have speakers each month, and so I auditioned to see if I could be a speaker and tell them about my tales of the B&B. I used the word shocking tales just so I'd get an audition.
We'll come back to shocking tales in a second because I want to hear some.
But yeah, so I do a bit of speaking with them, and I've forgotten why I was saying this now.
It's just like...
Well, why was I telling you that?
I can't even remember. But like, you know, you've gone on this journey, haven't you, where you've
people come in. Oh, I know. I think I know what I was going to say. Yeah, so when I do my, I'll just keep rabbiting on. When I do this, I'm going to be doing it next year, but I had to go and do one quickly because they'd had someone who dropped out. So I went a few weeks ago to Hinstock WI. But I got an envelope of all the of some of the guests. You said about having your favourites. Some of the guest names. I just put them all in an envelope. So I'd like to hand them out to people, pick a guest name, and then I could tell them a story about that particular guest. So
that's why we were talking about it.
Yeah.
So you incorporate your favourite guests into
well, the ones that have just left a memory, you know, the ones that even though people who only stay one night and you've been here for 12 years, you can remember them so well. Or people who've stayed. I mean, I had a girl who came for because some of the B&Bs won't take one nighters because obviously you're changing beds and what have you. They prefer to have two night stay really.
I've seen this because I just come back from Cork and we were trying to find a room for a night B&Bs or that, and there were like 4 nights minimum.
And I suppose if you've got a business head on your shoulders, that's what you do, isn't it? But I don't have a business head on my shoulders. I just like people. But yeah, I had these 2 sisters stay for one night in the twin room, really, really lovely. And then the one girl then came for a week with her husband and her 2 children. You know, so that one night turned into a week's stay. And like the kids were roughly around about the same age as my kids. So they went out for a meal in the evening. So I looked after their kids, and then they took my kids to the cinema and I took their kids out for the day. And I don't know, it's just a nice...
And you're in a great place as well. You know, you've got the Bell, who's got great food over here, and you've got like...
We've got the Bell's a bit further to walk to, so that they guests generally go to the Abbey on Monkmore Road.
Yeah.
So they'll go to the Abbey, or of course the Peach Tree, because that's right on our doorstep, and it's fantastic. You know, every time you're never going to get a complaint sent anyone to the Peach Tree.
Do you get certain companies get in touch with you, like restaurants, things like that, going, "Oh, go on, give us a nudge," or just do it organically? Yeah?
No, I just do it like my Facebook page. I love promoting independent businesses.
Yeah, I saw that.
But just as and when it occurs, so nothing's really staged. I like it to be quite natural. Like, I don't know if you saw, my mobile phone broke and the screen has been cracked and like got a bit cracked. So my husband doesn't do any social media, so he went onto Google and found this guy, Mr. Fix-It. And so he came round and he took my phone and fixed it. And he was wearing this Superman T-shirt, and he was my Superman for the day because he fixed my phone. But so then I did a little shout out for him on my Facebook page.
That's really nice. Nice. So right, let's go back to shocking stories. Have you got a couple of stories that make my listeners laugh? I bet you over the 12 years, I bet you've had some shockers, right?
Well, my friend Sonia's got better shockers than I've got.
I bet you guys just meet up, don't you? Have like a B&B meet up and just...
My best story, I think, is the day my mum died.
Oh.
Which sounds awful. My mum lived with cancer for 9 years.
Okay.
And she was in the hospice at the end of her days, and which was fantastic, which was wonderful. But she did masses to help out with the B&B. She was like, I'd go upstairs and, the beds had been stripped, and, look, she's ironed all my sheets. And it was just, she was fabulous. And she'd take the kids to school, and it was really, really good. And she passed away about, when was it, 2001 she passed, no, 2011 she passed away. So we're 8 years now. And on the morning she died, we knew it was coming. We knew it was probably going to be. And I woke up at 5:30 and I had a phone call, and she's gone. So it's fine. I'm ready for it. It's okay. Yeah. But I've got guests in, so so the guests came down for breakfast, and I said, I'm sorry, but you're going on an adventure for your breakfast this morning, and they didn't question it. They're like, oh right, okay. I said, you're going round to my friend Sonia's. I said, she's got Trevelyan B&B around the corner. And fine. And they went. It was absolutely fine. They had a nice breakfast. They came back and I thought, Sarah, we're so sorry. And I said, so it's fine. They've been staying a few days and they left, and that was that. But now I've got new guests coming in, and it's starting to hit me. And so I was ironing the sheets in the twin room, and I thought, what am I doing? This is ridiculous. So I rang Sonia. And she's like, yeah, I've got a room. They can stay with me. It's fine. So I sort of abandoned the ironing, and it's like, God, you know, starting to hit me. Midday comes and I can see the guests have arrived. And this lady was about the same age as my mum, in her 70s, and got a daughter with her. I could see them getting their stuff out the back of the boot.
Oh, no.
So I went out and I said, oh, hi. I said, I'm really, really sorry. I said, but you're going to be unable to stay here tonight. I said, but my lovely friend Sonia around the corner, I said, is going to look after you. And they were like, oh, that's really disappointing. Oh, really? I said, yes, well, there's been a bit of an upset in the family. Oh, well, I was really looking forward to your chocolate cake as well. Oh, that's... And I said, you know, she's really nice and she's just round the corner and it's, you know, really nice. Oh, and I was looking forward to the Arga breakfast. Oh, I thought, I'm going to have to tell her. I said, well, the thing is, my mum passed away this morning. And she said, oh, well, do you not think it might help take your mind off things? So I said... yeah, you're probably right. Come on in. So I showed her up to the room where there was the iron in the middle of the room and the sheets and the pillowcases. And she said, well, but we'll go out and then by the time we get back, you'll have all this done, won't you? I was like, yeah, I will. And she had a 2-night stay.
You just had to muscle through.
And and I thought, you know, my mum would have said she's probably just a lady who's just used to getting her own way. And
oh, wow. And I imagine you get...
I mean, I think that really is shocking, don't you? I mean, it's just like, really?
I don't know if I'd have been able to keep my cool. In all honesty, I know. Hats off to you.
I'm stupid, aren't I? I'm just really stupid.
Yeah, but the thing is, during that difficult time, you still accommodated this lady, so well done. I mean, there are millions of people... you know,
no, they wouldn't have done it, would they? They wouldn't have done it. And if I look back now, I think, what on earth was I thinking? I should have just closed the door on her and just accepted. Maybe I'd have got a negative review or whatever, just accept it. But no, never mind.
So it's like situations like that, you know, make me think, like, has this got easier for you to deal with the problems like that? You know,
yeah, I'm very lucky. I don't have problems here. I think I charge a price. I'm not a cheap B&B by any means. You know, I charge a fair price for what people get, and I think people appreciate what they have. I mean, I have had people try and leave without paying, only once.
Really?
Yeah. This couple were creeping down the stairs about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'll sleep anywhere. My friends will tell you I can sleep anywhere. I could sleep now, probably, you know, and ruin your interview.
All over the day.
Yeah, my girlfriends have got lots of pictures of me asleep. But no, when I know I've got guests in, my ear is listening out for the guests, you know. And I just heard the stairs go, and I thought it was funny. And then I heard the stairs go again. I thought, that's 2 people on my stairs now. So I put my dressing gown on and just acted really dozy. I was like, oh, is everything all right? And they were just going out the front door. So he was like, oh, fumbling and embarrassed, and just like got the money out. And I just like left them to it.
Oh.
They'd had a row. And anyway, went upstairs and the beds hadn't been slept on. So that was bonus. You know?
How funny.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't talk too much about my job, but I deal with difficult situations now and again, like, and I guess it does get easier. You get desensitized to the idiots in the world. I don't know if I can say that because, you know, we're trying to be in accommodation here. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we do have, like, idiots now and again. And have you had any, like, sort of rock and roll stories? People trying to throw, like, tellies out the window and stuff like that. You know?
Well, my shower screen broke once. Me and Stu were in the kitchen and we just heard this almighty crash. It's like, what on earth? We ran upstairs and someone had clearly had a shower and maybe the screw had come unloose or something. Instead of them telling me, they just left. And then the whole shower screen had just like shattered all over the bathroom floor. And it was like, now what do we do? Anyway, luckily there was a place up at Battlefield and we got a new shower screen and my Stu got it fixed and we hoovered up all the glass and the new guest arrived and yeah, we got that done really quickly.
Jobs are good, yeah. And you know, this place, you're saying you're not a cheap B&B, but like at the same time, you've got to come here to. I'm going to take a couple of pictures if you don't mind, just a couple of selfies. But this place is beautiful. It's big. It's luxurious.
We love it.
This kitchen here's got this like really nice homely feel to it. And so like, you know, if you my listeners, if you have people coming in from Shrewsbury, seriously consider the Ferndell, because it's a really nice place to stay. I'd stay here, and I'm only living in Bellevue.
I have lots of people who say that, because I post such a lot on Facebook about anything and everything, not just about B&Bs. And a lot of people do say, "Oh, I wish I could come and stay, but I live in Shrewsbury." It's
We just come out for a cup of tea. Yeah.
Well, do you know what? You know. Lorraine and Stan, who do the tours around the town. Well, they did a tour for, I think it was for Wilfred Owen, because his house is on Monkmore Road, and they sort of went round Abbey Foregate, and then I invited them all in for tea and cakes. There's about 20 odd people who came in for tea, just for free, just because they were in the area. So they all had tea and cakes. Like 20 odd people arrived. I'd made like 4 or so different types of cakes and got the coffee and the tea, and they came in, la la la. It was a nice day. They sat in the garden, they sat in the kitchen, they sat in the back room there, and then they were back on their tour, and it was like, did that really happen?
A whirlwind.
It was nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And you guys are infectious. You absolutely are infectious. You've got this great personality, and I just imagine that everybody comes here has a great time.
We just want people to feel at home and welcome. Because when I'm nosy, I like to know what's going on behind the doors, behind the windows. What are they talking about? I'm so nosy. My neighbours will tell you how nosy I am. But when I've stayed at B&Bs before, I remember for my hen do, we stayed at one down near, where did we go? The horse riding Lady Ascot. Oh God, brain fog.
It happens all the time in a pocket. As soon as you put a microphone in somebody's mouth, they're kind of.
But we stayed in this B&B, and it was lovely. It was great. But I was just like, what are they talking about in the kitchen? What are they doing? Because you can't see anything, can you?
Yeah.
So I just like it here that guests can like sit at the table and they can see everything that's going on. There's the kitchen, there's the Arga, there's the kettle, there's the kids coming in and out, getting ready for school or whatever. I just like the fact that the guests, and if that isn't your thing, then you don't stay again, do you? You just think, oh, I don't want to stay there. Too much chaos going on in that house.
It's nice and homey though. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
How good are you for the rainy days where there's not a lot people can do? They kind of just sat around bored. Have you got like entertainment?
No, people don't stay in generally. They arrive because they've got somewhere to go, somewhere to meet. They want to dump their stuff. They want to get in. They want to go and see the castle, or they want to go to the abbey. They've booked a trip on the boat or whatever. People come, dump their bags, have their cup of tea and cake, and then they go into town.
Great. Yeah.
And then they'll come back, have a bit of a rest, and then they'll go out for dinner. And then we recommend all our lovely restaurants: Golden Cross Armoury, Peachtree, Henry Tudor. People have got time to go for a lovely walk, get over to the boathouse, go around to the just whatever, get the map out, show them on the map where they could go. But so they don't really hang around the house. I mean, at breakfast, if they're waiting for breakfast, we have, like, you can see. Oh, whoops.
Yeah, the guitar strings. Cool.
We've got Chinese checkers and solitaire, and
which I think I moved.
Yeah. It's a lovely board, isn't it? It's really nice.
Really cool.
We had guests stay with us for a year. So
really,
Sue and Simon stayed with us on a Monday and a Tuesday because he was working in Telford, and Sue used to come just to keep him company. And it was the year leading up to my mum passing away.
Okay.
So I thought they'd get on well, Sue and my mum. So they went out for lunch at most Tuesdays together. So they became big pals. But we went to their house. They invited us there, and they've got a lovely Chinese checkers board. And we'd never played Chinese checkers before as a family. So
I've never played it. No.
It's great, really nice game. It is. It's good. We've also got 6 of you. It gets really heated. But yeah, they've got a really lovely Chinese checkers board. So because of them, I thought, I want a nice Chinese checkers board. And I thought, I'll keep it on the breakfast table, and then guests can play it if they want to. And I've got a fab photo on my Facebook page going back years now of a lady playing with Charlie. And actually, that wasn't Chinese checkers. That was Connect 4. We always used to have Connect 4 out before the Chinese checkers, and Charlie always used to play with all the guests before he went to school. And got a great picture of Isabel with her arms in the air because she's beaten Charlie at Connect 4. But so we progressed onto Chinese checkers board, and it's beautiful, isn't it? It's like really intricate. Nice oriental looking.
It's beautiful. Mm. So how far and wide do your guests come from then? Do you come from all around the world?
Yeah, all over the world, yeah. We've had people from Australia come because their neighbours have recommended us to them.
Oh my God, that's
so they'd be coming to the Telford Train Model Railway Convention. I can't remember what time of year it happens, but
there's one going on in Shrewsbury, isn't there? So?
I don't know. But so we had this couple. They've been twice now. Neil and Jill from Wyoming or something. I can't remember where it is. in Australia, and their neighbours were coming to the same convention a few years later, so they came because their neighbours recommended us, so that was nice.
And that's so wicked.
But yeah, Singapore, there's a lovely family who come with their 2 little girls from Singapore, who've got family in Shrewsbury they visit. Just all over the world.
Really great. And for the kids as well, bit of culture.
Yeah, well, Beth and my eldest went on a French exchange because of guests that stayed here. So 2 sisters were staying because their kids were at the PGL at Bass Church. Yeah. And we just got talking. And I did think she was asking me a lot of questions about my family, but I thought, well, some people do,
Yeah.
But she was obviously just trying to suss us out and see what type of family we were. Yeah. And then she said, I've got a daughter, not who's on the PGL, but I've got a daughter who might, I think would get on with your daughter. And so Camille stayed with us. Camille stayed with us the week of my mum's funeral. So Camille came to my mum's funeral. So Camille saw what an English funeral would be like.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think she expected the big party afterwards that we had. Such a raucous party. And this house was buzzing the night we had my mum's funeral. But yeah, so Camille stayed with us for a week. And then Bethan went to stay with Camille's family, and they lived in the centre of Paris.
Wow.
So, such an opportunity. And if we weren't running a B&B, that would never have happened. She'd have never got to meet these people.
And it's crazy, like, the things get lost in translation between different families from around the world, things like my co-host for my other show, Thorskin, is in Vermont. And we often, find ourselves just laughing about little tweaks in the language and things that he doesn't quite understand, things that I don't quite understand. And, my wife being from Colombia, it's hard because, they don't greet each other, say goodbye the same. They kind of, you have to go in and fully embrace everyone. Hi, hi. It's really nice to.
Well, we had a Chinese gentleman, Jonathan, stay with us for a month. He was working in Welsh Pool. And I just thought, if it's someone from France or Germany, you can sort of say Guten Morgen or Bonjour. You can make people feel, I don't know any Chinese. So Jonathan, he sort of taught us a few words. So when he'd get in from work in an evening, we'd all shout, Ni ha, Jonathan, which was like hello, I think. That was nice.
Well, this place is amazing, and I'm really grateful that I've been able to come around and have a walk around and sit and talk to you guys. Yeah. Do you want to let my listeners know, in case they want to recommend you, kind of where to find you on your social media?
Yeah, well, I've got a website.
Website, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a website. So if anyone just puts Ferndell, which is F for Freddie, Erndell, Ferndell Shrewsbury, into Google, that they'd find me. But yeah, I do Twitter, again, Ferndell, and I do Instagram, and I do Facebook. I mean, Facebook is lovely, I think, because you've got... well, with Twitter and Instagram, everything is also quick, and so it's gone. Yeah. But Facebook just sits there, and, people can scroll back, and, you've got plenty of work, there's lots of space to write about whatever you want to, and photographs.
Yeah, you've got so many characters.
You can get a real feel. I mean, I tend to make it more about the town and the businesses than about me. I will throw things in about me.
Yeah, I saw that you were doing lots of arts and crafts and things.
Well, that's lovely. I think I said earlier, it's only because the B&B goes quiet, but the community that it's creating is really lovely. Yeah. We sort of started off just doing a little bit of watercolour and lino print, so I have all the equipment for it. I have no skill for it myself.
It's just there. You just got it.
I've been on a few workshops, and I've held workshops with various artists in the past with different, jewellery making and all sorts. Learn how to use your digital camera. I've done all sorts. But you've then got to bring an artist in of their skill, and you've got to charge more because they've got to be paid as well. So I thought, if I can just make this affordable, so it's like £20, but you get to come and sit for a couple of hours in my lovely kitchen and meet some nice like-minded people, and you get fed and watered, you get your tea and your cake, and then you get a lovely lunch. But it's more about the downtime, the me time, the stopping what you're doing. You're in my kitchen, so you can't go and put your load of washing on, or you can just relax and chat with other like-minded people.
Yeah.
We've done all sorts. We've done calligraphy and knitting and crochet. I can't crochet.
Where do you get all this energy from? Honestly, it's amazing.
I think when you're doing something that you really love, it just doesn't feel like work. So, the girl said to me, oh, Sarah, please, can we do crochet? I've never done any crochet. I said, well, neither have I. So there's a crochet group over in Castle Fields. They've like yarn bombed the bridge.
Yeah,
and
it's lovely land.
It's great, lovely land. Yeah. It's so nice. I met
on the show
Claire,
before.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I met her in the park with her little children the other week. So, I went over to the Dog and Pheasant pub and they were like crocheting for the yarn bombing. So I just videoed a lady doing it. Ruth, she was really kind. And
she's the one that does the giant one. There's a lady that does
I don't think
she's
I don't think she does the big needles. Ruth's amazing. But yeah, so then with my like 2 minutes of knowledge, I then run a little taster session. We just make a tiny little, the start of a granny square, but it's just something art and creative. And we do stone painting. We paint stones and... Yeah, we're going to do origami. And creative writing. We've done creative writing.
You were literally the best. I was talking about rainy day, and you kind of played it down like, no, people don't say. But you are like the best person to know when there's like not a lot going on. Like, let's go and grab some stones and paint them. Like, this is
honestly,
fun.
I've got this cupboard in the back. I did a massive declutter a couple of years ago, and I wrote a blog about decluttering because I just thought it was huge. I mean, that room was just. You couldn't get in there; it was rammed with stuff.
Really?
And so I wrote this blog, just my journey of decluttering, thinking, well, I'll give myself
That's really
a year.
handy. That's actually really handy.
Very handy.
Yeah.
So I did it for anyway. It took 2 years, but in the end, my husband made me this lovely cupboard where I could put all the things that I needed and I wanted and that needed a house. He put me this lovely cupboard, and I've now got this lovely shelf full of all my crafty stuff. It's great. It's all nice and tidy. It's lovely. Yeah, my guillotine and my cuttlebug, and it's great.
Oh, well, I can't get over how your energy just transpires.
I can't get over that. I've sat still for all this time. I'm never
well done.
still.
I've got to say that you're quite worried about that at the beginning. So I don't know.
I don't sit still. I love talking, as you can tell.
Yeah.
but yeah, no. I generally I'm normal. I thought we'd be upstairs and I'd be putting pillowcases on and we'd be chatting, but then the sound wouldn't be so good, would it? So.
No, yeah. Well, we could have done that, but this has been great. I've really enjoyed it, and thank
thanks.
you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
We'll get this out to all of our millions of listeners. And hopefully they enjoyed getting a little bit of insight into your life,
because bit of a taste of a
lovely
accommodation provider in Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury, depending where you come from.
Shrewsbury. I'd love to. What do you guys say? I mean, write into me. Tell me, what is it, Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury? Let's start a fight.
I say it like the shoe you put on your foot, Shrewsbury.
Well, I say it like the little,
but it doesn't
the little
matter.
Rodent is a shrew. Shrewsbury, yeah. But yeah, it is what you want it to be.
And that's one of the most asked questions at breakfast. Sarah, is it Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury? It's like, it doesn't matter. Do you say grass or grass? Bath or Bath?
How many people come here and don't even realise that Darwin was born here? Do you get people like...
I don't know.
No?
No, I don't know.
You don't get a lot of people going, oh, what, really? Darwin?
No.
Shrewsbury? No. Because I didn't realise.
There was, I've got a story for everything. There was an artist, Rob Poynton. Do you know him?
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
No, okay. So he came to Shrewsbury. Mind you, it was before, because you've only been here a few years, haven't you? He came to Shrewsbury to do some paintings of Shrewsbury, and he did this lovely painting of Darwin. He does things off at like an odd angle sort of thing. Anyway, he was doing, and we'd got guests coming for the Darwin Festival, which is in February, isn't it? They do the Darwin Festival.
Yeah, we did that last year. Yeah.
So I don't know how many years it'd be, maybe 5 years ago. So I'd got guests coming for the Darwin Festival. They were big into Darwin. So I went and I knew they were coming, and I'd seen this guy painting Darwin. So I can't remember how I did know. So I took a picture of Rob Poynton, of him painting the Darwin painting, and gave them, I got it framed or whatever, gave it to them, and then they could go into town and go and see the actual painting finished, because they were on, I can't think where they exhibited them now. It might have been Millard and Lancaster.
Oh, right,
I think they had them in their window, I think. But yeah, so these people came for the Darwin Festival and they got a picture of the Darwin being painted, and then they could go and see the actual painting finished.
Wow.
So I thought that was quite nice.
We get a lovely calibre of tourists here. It's really nice to see people enjoying the town, because I live here and I'm proud to live here. But thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, thanks.
And if there's anything we can do for you, I mean, you do the treasure hunt things. And
the treasure hunt's lovely. Yeah, if people go on my website, there's 2 treasure hunts, and yeah.
Go on the website and have a look. Sounds like there's lots going on there.
Yeah.
And, I hope this carries on to be amazing, because it really is. And, thank you very much.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, is there anything else you want to
No, I was just going to say, because I'll be doing soon something, like I like to hide things around the town.
Yeah.
So in the past, I've hidden, like, say, if, like the flower show's coming up. So like I've gone and bought a flower show ticket, and then I've hidden it in the town, and then I put some clues on my Facebook to find it. And I've done it with the food festival tickets. So I'm just sort of thinking it's probably time I did it again. So
keep your eyes and ears and nose peeled. Oh, keep your eyes peeled. Keep a look. You put that on Facebook, I guess.
Everything always goes on Facebook. Whatever I'm up to, and this will be on Facebook, won't it? This I know. I should take a picture now. Hang on.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm going to take a picture now of you, and then I'll put it on my Facebook.
Okay,
hang on, just exactly as we are. Right, exactly as we are. Hang on. I'll get the microphone in.
Yeah. My social media is full of those microphone shots, especially when I first started. I was like, oh, look at me.
There we are.
I'm going to get a picture as well.
Oh, no. This is the beauty of this, because it's audio. Oh, yeah, not of me. Good.
That was such a weird... It almost fish-eyed. It kind of bent everything around. It was really... Thank you so much for joining me on the show. And like I said, if there's anything that you want added onto this, if there's anything that you've forgotten, just send it to me and I'll add it onto the episode. This will be out in about 3 weeks, I think. I'm getting all this done now so that I can...
No rush. Yeah, I'm already sitting here thinking, I didn't say that I make my marmalade. I didn't say I make sourdough.
You make your own marmalade?
Yeah, and I make... I've won competitions for my marmalade. Yeah.
Get your competition-winning marmalade from the Ferndell B&amp.
I never make enough. I sort of make it in January, and then by about July, it's all gone, and it's like, I've got to buy it now.
I always remember making jams and stuff when we were kids. We used to go and pick the blackberries.
I've got a great jam story.
Yeah, tell me.
I haven't got time. We haven't got time for my jam. We finished, haven't we?
No, we can.
All right, I'll tell you my jam story.
I want to know.
Are you sure?
I want to hear it.
It's going to be the longest podcast in the world.
That's fine.
So, I'm in town with my daughter. There used to be a fruit and veg shop in Riverside. It's not there anymore. And there was strawberries for sale. And my daughter's only little. She goes, "Can we have some strawberries?" I'm like, yeah, okay. So she wanted this punnet of strawberries. And I thought, I'm going to buy a punnet. I'm going to make some jam. So I went home, never made jam in my life. So I made this strawberry jam, and the guests, I'd got 3 ladies in that were on a weekend away. So they were coming down the stairs in the evening to go out for dinner. They said, it's a lovely smell. I said, yeah, I'm just making jam. I've never made it before. I said, you can be my guinea pigs in the morning. So breakfast came, and they sat at the table with the other couple, who were an elderly couple. And so the girls were telling this elderly couple about me making this jam. Anyway, so it came for like the toast and the jam, and they were eating it. And this man said, this elderly man, he said, you've got a very good set on this jam. I said, have I? Whatever a very good set is. He said, yeah, I used to work in the jam industry. He said, and we once had a consignment of figs that was delivered to us because it had been refused from another company because the figs had been ground too much and the consistency wasn't coarse enough or whatever. I said, okay. And that was that. They carried on chatting. Sit on my hands.
My guests always hit those
sit on my hands. So so that was that. They finished their breakfast, I cleared their things away, and off they left. And on Tuesday I was doing my banking, and I looked at their cheque, and it was Mr. and Mrs. Hartley.
Oh my
now God. It might not have been the Mr. and Mrs. Hartley, but I like to think it might have been.
And you gave him your jam that had a great set.
Had a good set, yeah.
That's amazing.
I'd hate though for them to think that I knew it was them and I was making jam because of who they. It just it wasn't that at all. It was just May and the strawberries in the shop,
So I get a little lady making me jam. Does she not know who I am?
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, cool, isn't it?
That's a great way to end the show, actually. Just to end it with a jam story.
Yay!
But no, thank you again. Mm-hmm. I've really enjoyed this, and
good.
I hope we do you justice because this place is amazing.
I don't think I can sit still any longer.
Check out the Ferndell B&amp, guys. There's all the social media bits there, and make sure you like and share and tell people about this episode because that's the only way we grow as a show. And thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Alex, ever so much.
Thank you. This is great. Thank you, guys. Peace. Peace out.